So tell us a little bit more about family court. And really what I want to do is, because you hear different stories, you hear people talking about it, especially with Kash's case is what I'm talking about, because I'm assuming that you know it inside and out. You could write a book about it.
Probably so. I couldn't use all the legal jargon. Now Cash has all the words, and I don't. So.
Yeah. But really what I want to know is what happened, because I'm always, people say, well, you've got to get this side of the story, that side of the story, the truth is somewhere in between. And I think that's fallacious to begin with, because the truth may be, no, this guy here is speaking the exact truth, or maybe he's lying about everything. But you were there, you saw it. What is your perspective on what took place?
In the beginning, it was what I would say would be a normal family court hearing. Because I had not ever attended any of these. It was my first time, you
Right.
know. And I could see that her attorney, was very hell-bent on just doing all that he could to keep my son, out of the picture completely. The ex, the same. And in the beginning, I thought that the judge was a fair and reasonable person, just, watching his demeanor and the way that he treated everyone there. But as time went on, I saw that change, and I saw it become more personal.
Now, was this Judge Joseph Salvi?
Yes,
Okay.
that was Judge Salvi. But I remember a time in particular that Kash was very frustrated, and he was hurt, and he looks at the judge and he says, Your Honor, or Sir, I don't remember the term that he used, but he said, I don't understand why you're doing this to me. I am a 20-year honorably discharged Navy vet. I've never done anything to be kept from my kids. So why are you doing this to me? And his response was, what made you think you were any different than anybody else?
Whoa. Wow. And wow.
Yeah.
I didn't hear this part before.
Yeah. There was another instance that we were in court, and I think the topic of that day was payments that they wanted Kash to pay on child care for the children. And now, granted, we live 4 miles up the road, and we were allowed to get the children, a few days a week there to take them, for activities and what have you. And Kash said, okay, but I don't understand, why I'm having to pay for daycare or child care, rather, when my mom lives with us, and that's really why she's even here, is
Right.
to be close to her grandchildren and to help me, if I need the help. And Judge Salvi's response was, but I don't know her. I'm sorry, did I miss the memo that went out on, he was interviewing whoever else was doing the caregiving to my grandchildren?
The daycare, yeah. And this, you make this is a point that I think that needs to be talked about a little bit more. In a case like this, I think the other parent should always be given the right of first refusal. Because really, you can do this. Family court weaponizes the person who so-called wins. I don't know if one parent wins, the children lose.
Absolutely.
But so you have a winning parent, the children are losing, and then the winning parent uses the court to start to exclude the other parent from the children's life. They can use them to keep the kids away. They can use them to say, well, I think the children need to go to daycare and you need to split the cost of it. And they can have other arrangements that take place.
Right.
And you have a judge who is a stranger to the entire family, acting basically as an enforcement agent, as a Gestapo at times, on behalf of one parent. And from what I'm hearing you say, I don't know if that's overstating the case or not, but it would appear to me that is exactly what the judge is doing. The judge is like, I am going to start to take a side, and in a sense, damn you for questioning me.
Right. Yeah, that took me by total surprise, and it hurt me to the core because I was good enough to be with them every other weekend and 3 days out of the week, but I couldn't do it the other 2 days.
Yeah.
You know what?
You
What am
have
I
to
missing?
you have to let a stranger
Right,
rear the
right.
children
And
and
which
grandchildren.
she did get the option, to refuse that. Absolutely. She did not. She didn't want me around the children any more than she wanted Cash around the children.
Yeah. Yeah. So that yeah. Yeah. So the family courts pick side,
Yeah. Oh, they absolutely did.
and very unjustly.
Absolutely. I mean, all of it was without any cause. There was not one piece of evidence that they could have produced to show me unfit to be near my grandchildren.
And see, what I think that's very important here is that people think, well, family court's just about two people that are getting their divorce. Often it's just one person forcing the divorce, but two people here. But what I hear you saying is that divorce and family court affects the extended family.
Yes, it affects everybody in the family.
Mm-hmm.
No mother wants to watch her child go through something so painful and listen to them cry. And on holidays, you watch them stand off to the side with tears running down because they miss their kids.
Right.
No parent wants to see their child grieve for their living children.
Right. Right. And that's exactly what it is. It's one thing if your children suffer some type of a tragic accident and you lose them. But when your children and your grandchildren are living,
Right, right.
that grief is harder to take.
It absolutely is because when your child is no longer with you on this earth, you have no choice but to accept the fact you will never see that child again.
Right.
But when your child is alive and well and you live 4 miles up the road and you're not allowed to just take the afternoon after school and go to the pond and fish a little bit,
Yeah.
or swing by, let grandma go pick them up and let's all go for ice cream or,
Yeah.
no.
And in your case, you moved up there to be with the children.
I did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah.